We are bombarded with daily polls about how many Americans favor socialism, especially the young millennial crowd. So I want to talk about this from a positive perspective because you see, I really don't believe that college educated millennials are that ignorant. I think the issue is idealism. And that's a good thing. I just asked the millennial crowd to use a little logic in their thinking. Let me start with this. The court of history has proven, overwhelmingly, that socialism is guilty of a couple of terrible crimes. One is theft of the individual's opportunity for economic prosperity. And even worse, socialism is guilty of murdering innocent people. And I think the idealistic millennials would say to that, yep, we're aware of that. However, we believe that our current government is not guilty of those crimes, and we want to give it the chance to get socialism right. If that's true, I just want to remind you of one thing, among many. Let's look at the people in Congress right now, specifically the House of Representatives, because that's the place that legislation is created from. So free healthcare, tuition for all, socialist ideas, it's going to come from the House. Well, right now in the House, you have people who are like you, socialists. You have progressives, left-leaning Democrats. Here's my question. When you look at just those people, from the news that you read and see, would you say they are more concerned with the next election and political power, or are they more concerned with healthcare and tuition for all? And by the way, impeachment, that is all about political power. I think the answer to that is easy, and that's the problem with socialism. It ends up being about power, and with socialism, it gets total control over people's lives as well as industries, which leads to theft and murder. The second thing I want to mention is just capitalism itself. Millennials believe that capitalism is the reason you have so many rich people and so much income inequality. And they're right about that, okay? Absolutely right. But honestly, I kind of favor a system where a lot of people can get rich, even though everyone can't. And I remind you as a millennial, just two names, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos. Gates, computers were already here. His idea was simply the personal computer. Microsoft was founded to get it in everybody's hands. Jeff Bezos, he was selling books online and out of the trunk of his car. No really grand idea there. Both of these men created companies that, goodness, how many millionaires were created from those two companies? How many millions of high-paying jobs from those two companies? I wouldn't want to lose that. And I want to say to you that in a socialist environment, you'd have never heard the names of Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos. And finally, people believe that, rich people get their money off the backs of poor people. And that is so wrong. Listen, rich people get rich because people are consuming and buying. So please, millennials, just use some logic in your thinking.